Good evening, everyone. It's Monday night. It's a Celtic Unrestricted View. I'm JP, and this evening, my good man, Mr. Alan Stirling. Well, Alan, as I said, mate, it is Monday night. It's good to see you back on, mate. Hope you're well, and I hope you've had a nice weekend.
Yeah, no, definitely. Nice to get a decent win with Celtic. Parts of the game really good. Controlled the game. Pretty happy with the result. Probably deserved more of a difference in the scoreline, I'd say. But there was definitely parts of the performance I was really happy about. Decent weekend. I hope you're well and hope everybody else that's watching's well.
Yeah, I am good, mate. It's been a bit of a quick weekend, to be honest. Been pretty active with the missus and the kids. Saturday was a good day. Went for a nice lunch over to your favourite La Vita, mate. It was really nice, and we topped that off on Saturday night with a couple of beers in the house, so that was all right. And then yesterday was a day, as I say, moving some stuff as we were getting ready to move house, as you know, mate. Moving some stuff in the house, and then just watching the game, and again chilling out, and getting ready for the wee man stuff, for getting ready for school and that today, and then as the day came, I've took the Wednesday swimming this afternoon, so it's been all go, mate, and I think that's what's helped to keep it quick. And so I feel sorry for the wee man right enough, because it's probably felt just as quick for him, and obviously he finishes up on Friday, and then before he knows it, it's Monday morning again, he's back at school. But no, as you said, mate, great weekend. Obviously good result for Celtic. Obviously we'll touch upon the performance and stuff. Our good man Ryan is in East End Community Radio tonight, folks, so in case any are wondering where he is, that's where Ryan is tonight. It's his turn back on the radio with the lads over there, so fair play to Ryan, and hope he's doing well. I listened into a wee bit earlier on while I was watching Transfer Deadline Day, Alan. But the day's been I don't know if it's just me, 20:36 o'clock, mate. It's been a relatively quick day.
Aye, I think I've refreshed Twitter maybe about 20,000 times. I think there'll be a lot of people in the comments I've seen before. That's obviously we've got a signing for Crystal Palace coming in. We wish him all the best. Is it the transfer window we hope for? Far from it, I think. I think the business, apart from Jota, has been extremely disappointing, but we need to get behind the players, and I'm trying to be as positive as possible. And this guy's got loads of experience in the Premier League. He is 32, but let's hope he can come in and do a really good job for us, and we can fully get behind him.
Yeah, good evening to everybody that's joining us also. Hope you are all well. Like I says, hope everyone had a nice weekend. Some comments in. And evening JP, Alan, and the chat. P. McLaughlin says he's half expecting Edward. Probably turning up
a
pointless.
Because he's already played for two teams, because so he can't register for a third team due to FIFA regulations. So if we signed Edward, he wouldn't be able to play until next season.
Yeah, P. McLaughlin. Chris Murray, evening, mate. I hope you're well. Mark McDonald joining us. Hail, host. Chat looking very quiet. Evening. Well, it's Monday. I know, don't forget. So, and P. McLaughlin said he's just heard there's going to be a spectacular announcement soon. We'll wait. Yeah. Like Winder Pal, Brendan Rodgers in London. Yeah, mate, he's obviously away to, as Alan mentioned, the man's name there, Jeffrey Sloop. He's probably down to tie that up and get that over the line for us. Maybe another one, hopefully. But yeah, we'll wait to see what happens. Any new comments? Ryan the Celts with us as well. God bless Celtic, the best fans on earth. Yeah, mate. Thanks for that. Ryan's feeling very deep on a Monday night. That's a good one. He's probably in that motion, Alan, where he's ready to give people cuddles and all that, big man.
I'm that all the time.
And Sean Farrell says, evening lads, underwhelming window at the moment. The Slabbering Cabbage, what a name that is for a YouTube channel, by the way. Unbelievable. We can't just finish the window with Jota. We need a left back at the very least. Well, if you heard my good man there, sir, that's what Jeffrey Sloop will be. You know, he's a utility player down the left-hand side of the field. He can also play. I was having a chat with Barry Bannon about an hour ago, and he can also play in the midfield. I wasn't aware of that. Baz obviously knows more about him than I do. I didn't know he could play in central midfield.
Left wing and striker as well at points, so he's
very versatile. And Barry was saying he's very complimentary in terms of his athleticism and how he moves, and he's a good technician with the ball. So Baz seems to know more about him than what I do, Alan. So I'm only taking it from our good man, Mr. Barry Bannon, mate, that he's not the worst of signings, that's for sure.
I can only judge on the statistics I've seen. I have seen them a number of times, glancing at them when watching kind of Premier League games, so I couldn't kind of nail my point to the mast, shall we say, that I know exactly what it's like. But I think without going, say, kind of Kyogo and Valle, I think that's why it seems to be kind of disappointing and underwhelming. But there is time left, so I'm hoping that if Brendan, Peter Lawwell and Michael Nicholson are down in London, that there is more than Sloop to come in. Because I think we were all saying kind of the last week or so that we're desperately needing to kind of replace Valle and Kyogo. If not for kind of the quality in the first 11, at least for the kind of the quality in the squad depth. I think if we're getting into this last part of the season with just kind of Idah and Johnny Kelly as our options up front, and Brendan's made it clear that he needs players in. Brendan's made it clear that Idah can be played through the middle, but that's not an option he'd like to go with. So I think Brendan's comment yesterday after the game was a kind of get your finger out to the board, and as we speak at the minute, I don't think the finger has been brought out. I'm just hoping in the next few hours that we see some movement.
Yeah, I've just seen that there. I think we had a chat on the chat about this the other day, Alan. It is broke, and there's a couple of sources online now saying that the boy from Slovan Bratislava, Celtic have made a bid for him, the boy Sterling, the forward. So that's interesting. We'll see what obviously develops from that. What's your thoughts just quickly on that, mate?
As I say, somebody for that kind of part of the world, I don't think Williams probably the guy to speak to about somebody that guy, but
played against us in the Champions League.
Nothing I can kind of overly remember, if I'm being honest. If I had the figures quoted, we're around about 7 or 8 million. So if we're kind of planning to pay that kind of money for somebody, surely Brendan thinks he's a fairly decent player. But if that one gets over the line, then so be it. That shows a bit of intent with that amount of money spent. But we'll just need to kind of play it by ear, see if there's any materialises with that rumour.
Yeah, there are arguments from the Celtic fans that there is a big hole left now in the team. So in the comments and in the comments box, let us know your thoughts, folks, on what you think there. We've got a minute or two before we get our first call of the evening in. Alan, I just want to touch on a man who's made the headlines for the last couple of weeks at Celtic, with some Celtic fans obviously wondering whether he was a man to take us forward, the man to do it. But it seems to be the man at the moment, mate, where he scored 3 goals in the last 5 days, Mr. Idah. And again, mate, we look yesterday and we see that he turns in another very good performance and he gets himself a goal as well. And listen, it can all be good for us moving forward, mate.
Yeah, I've been quite critical about Adam over the first part of the season and got all these figures and the kind of performances. I think that's probably rightly so. But credit where credit's due. Over the last couple of games, I think he's put in a couple of really good performances. Not even the goal at the weekend. I think his overall play was really impressive. It looks as if he's kind of taken his game up a notch in comparison to the first part of the season. Obviously, the goals, that's the most important thing. That's why we're paying the money for a number 9. But we need to see this over a prolonged period with Adam. If he's going to kind of fill the massive boots of Mr. Kyogo, he's going to have to kind of do this most weeks and kind of put in the kind of performances. But as I say, credit where credit's due. He's the last 2 games he's put in really good performances, and I was kind of impressed with his off the ball work, especially at the weekend there.
Yeah, it seems to be. I think I had this chat with one of my old school pals a few days ago, and that's what he said after Aston Villa. He said maybe Kyogo JP leaving might actually be the best thing that's happened to Adam Idah in terms of he's kind of woke up here with a big responsibility on him, and maybe he's one of those players, Alan, that he thrives under a responsibility, because over the last two games now, he certainly looks as if he has a new lease of energy around him, and he looks as if he's ready to, or he showed us in the last couple of games that he's kind of ready to take on that responsibility as being Celtic's number 1 man through the middle.
He's definitely improved, but as I say, we can't ignore the first part of the season. I think it was like 13 games or something without a goal, so we need to kind of praise him for the last couple of games, because I think he was kind of massive. Obviously, in the Aston Villa game, we get the 2 goals. You're looking at the game of the weekend, I think a lot of his hold-up play, a lot of his touches, they were rather impressive. So we can only kind of have confidence that this is the point that Adam's going to kick on. This is the point where he has woken up. Not necessarily impressed that it's taken to this point to wake him up, but in the positive point, if he has woken up, then I think if we could get the best out of Adam, then we are going to have a really good striker on our hands, because he has got the ability. He's still relatively young. There's a lot of progression, and under the kind of elite manager that we've got, Brendan Rodgers, I think if he adapts to that kind of play and he kind of commits to want to be kind of Celtic's number 1 striker, then I think that there is a hell of a lot of progression in him, and that can only be good for the team and Celtic as a whole.
Yeah, 100%, mate. My thoughts on Adam, even from last season. I've always been a big advocate for Adam Idah. I think he brings the Celtic team something different. Even when we had Kyogo there, I just felt that his physical presence and his link-up play, like Rodgers likes outside the box, suits our style. I think there's a lot of development still to be done with Adam Idah. I think he can still become better, which is scary. If that happens, he won't be here. It's that simple. It's, in my opinion, he won't be here. I still think Adam Idah will still hit a certain amount of goals before the end of the season. I still fancy him to give us some big moments between now and the end of the season that he's already shown he can do. As Barry Bannon sat here and says on Friday, you can't. You've not got nothing about you, mate, if you're going down to Aston Villa and you're banging in 2 goals, regardless of where you've took them. You've still got to put them away. We were all jumping on his back just not that short time ago, mate, for jumping near a goalkeeper up at Dens Park and no putting that one away. You look at the 2 goals in contrast to that against Villa. I mean, one, I thought he was watching Enter the Dragon. His Bruce Lee dragon kick, the first goal. He gets his leg away up like Jean-Claude Van Damme. I'm like, woof. I turned into big Archie McPherson in that moment. I was like, woof, what's going on here? When did you have that in your locker, big fella? But, all kidding aside, mate, I think we're in good hands with Big Idah. I know what people are saying in terms of we need somebody else in with him. You look at yesterday, we've got Johnny Kenny sitting on the bench. Brendan doesn't do that, so he brings Yang on to then put Idah through the middle. Now, I had a chat with yourself, Alan, on text, and I put this to you. We bit of half kidding, hell earnest, you would call it at that time. and I said to you, do you think Idah has a potential to go through the middle? I'm going to ask you that again after obviously Brendan changed to yesterday, because you look at that. I mean, the goal that leads to Jota's goal, the ball for Ingles. I mean, we'll touch on that in depth a wee bit down the line here. But as a whole, just great movement for Idah again, similar to Kyogo, getting himself across the defender and making a great move for Jota to not only set his debut alight, but to give him that raw emotion that we've seen as well when he scores.
Yeah, I think Dyson Idah has got the capabilities to play that position. You've seen him play it in the past. But I think I don't want to say wasted, but I think you don't see the full potential of him through the middle. I think when you're looking, when he plays down the wing, I think Brendan's alluded to this when Kyogo left as well. He was asked the direct question, could Idah play through the middle? And he says the same as what I'm saying just now. He can play through the middle. He has played through the middle in the past, but he wouldn't prefer to take that option, basically. He would rather him out wide. I tend to agree with that. I think Idah is kind of massive for his out wide. His work rate, obviously, we don't need to kind of get into depth about his work rate. It's absolutely immense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
His finishing can be unpredictable, shall we say. You look at the header, the first half he had, and a clear goal as well. Does the likes of kind of Idah or Kyogo miss that? I know it was kind of a reaction header, but I just don't see him through the middle. I know he's played that. I fully expect that he can play that if it's asked upon him. But I think he's probably better used out wide, in my opinion.
Interesting that one with Anton Rogan's left foot. He says Jota could play striker. I had a wee laugh with Ryan about this, and I said, do we think Jota could go through the middle and become the next Cristiano Ronaldo to do it, like, and the next Portuguese guy to change position from the wide area through the middle? I'm being honest, right? It was a joke, but I'm trying to think of your manager, and I wouldn't rule that out, to be honest with you, as that being an option also, if needed to be.
It is an option, but I don't think it's an option we want to go with again. I think you're looking at, we've seen it in the past when we had a lot of injuries and no many options. Leo Abada played for in the middle as well. I don't know if you remember Nanji's kind of first season.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's not an option that we should be kind of thinking about just now. I think that's a lot of the frustration that's happening just now, that we've let go our kind of star striker. We haven't replaced him. And we're getting down to a couple of hours to go. 2 hours, 8 minutes and 24 seconds to be precise. And we're still not kind of replaced him.
You've practiced that, haven't you?
No, I'm watching Sky Sports News in the background now, and I can see the countdown clock.
That is 11 o'clock here as well.
So I think it would be massively frustrating and massively disappointing if we don't bring in a striker that's on a similar level to Kyogo. I don't think say if we were only a few points behind, and if we got a firing order or something in the playoff round, would we have let Kyogo go without replacing him with somebody of a similar standard? I don't think so. I don't know if this is kind of, I don't want to be too critical. Is this sleeping when you're behind the wheel again? For Celtic, we'll find out in a couple of hours, but you can tell with Brendan's interview yesterday and the statements that came out, he was basically saying that he needs backed, and to let go somebody Kyogo's quality, and with a couple of hours to go, we're still scrambling around for a striker. It doesn't look good whatsoever. I'm trying to be as positive as I possibly can. If I wasn't on this podcast, I think my language might be slightly more colourful. But I'm wishing, I'm praying, and I'm hoping for the best over the next couple of hours. and hopefully we'll all get big, massive smiles on my face and come 11 o'clock.
Well, talking about colourful, over 875 people joining us across all platforms. That's amazing, guys. Thank you very much for your contribution. Also, talking about colourful, a man of colour tonight, certainly our first caller. Here he is. That is indeed the one and only Mr. Francis Lester. Good evening, mate. How are you?
Good evening, Francis.
Put the tan there for a minute. Hello.
Aye.
What's that
You think you've got a tan because you're wearing that tap?
Aye. I like this.
It looks very nice. It looks very nice.
Aye, good to see you, lads.
Good stuff. How we going, mate? How was your weekend?
Aye, excellent. Aye, good. My boy was doing with a couple of my grandkids at the weekend as well, you know, so bought a new pen for the telly because I'm hopeless with that telly, you know. I had to come down and tune it all in for me so I could watch the football, you know, legally. No.
What other channels was you tuning in for you?
No, just the me channels, the what do you call them? The wee man's channels. Nah,
Tune into Ryan's show, he'll teach you about channels.
Aye. So here just watching the transfer deadline day, waiting for our striker to come on board. But I'm still not holding my breath.
That's just
okay.
Gary Hooper's coming.
So is that your only thoughts of the weekend? What do you think of the game?
I thought we controlled the game from start to finish. Again, back to the finishing was pretty poor. Again, I thought we're still missing far too many chances. Big Idah scores a great goal, but then he hits the post and got the other ones with Idah, you know what I mean? We should be putting these away. We're still not putting them away, you know. Jota's finish was great, but I'm still. I think we definitely need another striker for backup. I think, you know, because if anything does happen to the big man, Big Idah, who I thought was superb actually. I thought he played brilliant in the game. His hold up play and everything was great, you know.
I thought his movement was brilliant, Francis. His actual movement on and off the ball was excellent. So it was.
For me, he's went up a gear definitely, because previous to that he wasn't doing that. When you go back to Dundee, he wasn't doing that. I mean, he did break through, and you spoke about it earlier about him jumping over the ball, you know what I mean? But to me, then I think he still had that fear of missing in his head at that night. But now that he's got the start, I think his confidence he's built for the 2 goals at Villa, which were superb, and I think he'll grow into it now. You know what I mean? I think he'll score a few goals. But again, if we lose him to injury, you know, as Alan said, I don't think Brendan wants to play Idah through the middle, so you really do need a striker. You know what I mean? So, but we'll see what happens tonight. See something happens. I can't believe that Brendan and Law flew away down to London just to sign a loan signing. That doesn't compute to me. You know what I mean? I think that loan signings are a lot easier to do than permanent signings. You know. I think it is more likely to be something a bit bigger than that, you know. But we'll see.
So.
Yeah, it could be. Well, that's the only thing. A lot of people just put 2 and 2 together, say, oh, well, they flew down to Heathrow earlier. So Jeffrey Shook plays at Crystal Palace. They're a London club. And they're just putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5 and thinking that that's why they're there. Like he says, Francis says there, Alan, it could be something a bit bigger.
We're all hoping so. I think the general kind of thoughts and attitude amongst the Celtic fans, we are looking for that kind of striker to come in that is going to be a similar level, you think, of Kyogo. It's frustrating. It's just when we know, Brendan's come out and says we knew Kyogo was leaving for months.
That's what gets me.
There should have been a case, Kyogo's leaving, press the button, bring in that one, we're going to do that. And it's no. We're down to 2 years before, which for organisation, for a club of your stature to be dealing in that way, it's amateur. It's absolutely astonishing that we're dealing in this kind of this way, honestly. And I'm trying to be so positive and say that, Sloop, I hope he does really well, and whoever we bring in, I hope does really well. But we can't get away from the fact that Kyogo left a week ago. We knew he was leaving for months, and we're still scrambling about last minute. It was like my dad 30 years ago when he was going in Christmas Eve down to the bars. Christmas Eve, 11 o'clock at night, still waiting for my ma's present. That's what it's like, honestly. See, for a club of your size and stature, honestly, something needs to change. It's embarrassing. It is. It's no fit for purpose, no good enough, not by a shot, not by a long shot.
I agree.
Well, I mean,
JP
let's
won't,
just say just now. No, I can't.
I was anticipating that, Francis. I knew that. That always happens.
No, I can't agree because I see it. I personally, I see it differently. But I'm not going to get too bogged down with. I mean, everybody has a different feeling, which is fine, and that's totally fine, you know. But I see things differently from other guys that's on here, which is fine. As I said, and I'm not going to get too bogged down on what Alan says. Alan's quite within his rights to say how he feels and but I don't agree. No, I don't. But we'll move on. Obviously, Francis, but Jota had returned to the club. Wasn't it a kept secret, mate? Couldn't have asked for a better start, eh?
Fantastic. He was absolutely brilliant. I mean, everybody's telling me, oh, he's nowhere near fit and he'll sit on the bench, he'll not go on. But I thought he was red hot. I really did. I thought he was red hot. He's running pace and everything. He's touched a lot. He never done nothing wrong. You know what I mean? He looked absolutely just as he did before he left for me. You know, obviously.
I mean, if that's him no fit, mate, I can't wait to see what happens when he does get fit.
That is frightening. That's what I call frightening. What's going to come for Jota when he gets fully match fit and maybe puts a bit of beef on and gets about 2 ton taken off that hair.
That's how, isn't it?
Yeah, he'd let a bus.
Put on a photo, it looked like Princess Di. I know. It's Howland.
But he run it without carrying all that with him. I thought he was outstanding when he came in, his wee cameo, brilliant. I would still take my time with him, you know, bleed him back in because we don't want him coming in too quickly and getting injured, and you know what I mean, because it has been a wee while since he's played, you know, full games. So I think Brendan's doing it the right way, you know. But I was very impressed with him, you know what I mean. But the only thing that really annoyed me actually was him bringing Yang on. I don't understand. I understand because he switched Maida, but I would have brought young Kenny on. I think that boy needs to get a game. I don't understand why we bring these players back off loans and then don't play them. When his touch looked good too when he came on 10 minutes, Francis, when he came on that game. His touch looked good. He looked you can't judge him that much on that, but he did look as if he had a wee bit about him, mate. He made back and then we've just dropped him out the pitch again. He'll be another one that'll end up going like, do you know what, I'm not going to get a game here, I'm off. And everybody will be like, what's going on? Do you know what I mean? You'll never find out what these guys are capable of unless you play them. And that's where I think we fail big time in our younger players. We let them go too quick, I think, in favour of buying big money foreigners, which a lot of them haven't done it for us. You know,
it's a massive gamble, though, Francis. Do you not think if you bring in a young lad when you're chasing a title and you're chasing silverware, etc., you know, say it's a massive gamble. I know people keep saying, you've got to find them in somewhere. Surely a game away at Fir Park, when the game's still at 2-1 and you're still trying to get the victory. You're not bringing on a young lad.
I'd have brought Alan on instead of Yang.
Don't say that.
We're drinking.
I do agree we should be using.
Listen, Yang's obviously doing something that Brendan's obviously, because he continues to play him.
I think it's therapy.
Feet massages or something. He must be doing so. I know.
Brendan, play me.
Really see the games that were 3 or 4 up. You're looking at the likes of Cummins that's leaving there. You're looking at the likes of Kelly that's left. Rocco Fata, Doak. These guys aren't getting an opportunity. The reason they're not getting an opportunity because the lower league isn't fit for purpose. It's not like the All Reserve League where there was kind of older players that were coming in. So these guys, they might be going for money as well, but they're gone because they're not getting that kind of challenge. They're not getting that progression that they need as a young player. Exactly. Simple as that. So Celtic need to find a way that these guys are progressing, whether that be they're going out on loan, whether that be they're coming on when we're up 3 or 4-0, but we need to find a way. We can't keep continue to bring these players through Lennoxtown and they're leaving for kind of nominal fees, tiny fees, and it just takes away from the part. Why we kind of investing in our youth system when they're just leaving straight away?
No.
There is a shout as well, lads, as well, that they're getting offered money that obviously Celtic won't match at this stage of their careers as well. And I think that's where Brendan touches on in his last interview, his last presser, when he has a wee go at the agents and he says, well, more or less, stop listening to your agent, you know, because they try to turn your head about money, and just have that bit of patience, because if you're good enough and you're patient enough, an opportunity will come along. Brendan showed
these
throughout his
guys
career
are being patient and then they're not getting the opportunity. They're not getting any opportunity. They're only getting the lowland league. They're not getting reserves. They're not getting any time in the first team. You look at when Ben Doak left, he only came on as a sub kind of once or twice.
How long was Ben Doak at Celtic?
How long was he at Celtic?
How long was he on the periphery of maybe, because the talk was then, Alan, for me, was Ange put him in the first team to kind of show him what the first team was like. And then it was like 2 games later, he had signed for Liverpool.
I couldn't tell you that, but I'm looking at even Cummins this year. And Cummins has scored, everybody's been talking about how many goals he scored. And that's the first time we've seen him. Was it last week, wasn't it?
Against Aston Villa. It was his first appearance for the first team,
So if he's scored that many goals, you would think that whoever it is, the coach, his manager, would say, look, see we were up 3 or 4-0. Let's give this boy a shout. I know they're going to be tempted with money right there, but see if they're getting that progression, see if they are getting that wee opportunity. I don't think they will be as tempted. If you say, look, you're going to get this opportunity, we're going to continue to do this with you. You'll not get as much money, but we will give you this opportunity. Then I think a lot of our younger players would be tempted to stay a bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I understand that, but again, you know, Danny Cummings, nobody knew him until about 2 months ago proper, because of the goals he's scoring, but he's scoring at a level that isn't getting recognised by the Celtic fans just now. But Celtic fans are moaning about them playing in that level, you know. So he's scoring in games against civil service strollers, Broomhill, teams that you know.
It's obviously impressive enough
that we don't know.
So that's up to Celtic to find a different way to progress them.
Well, that's right, Alan. No, but that's a totally different matter from, you know, what we're talking about in terms of ability. That lad is never in a month of Sundays, and I can vouch for anything they know. Anywhere near ready to play in front of guys like Adam Idah for a Celtic first team. Nowhere near it.
Just came on the telly there, Celtic have rejected the bid for West Ham.
For Daniel Cummings, I think they're trying to get him tied down in a longer term deal. But Francis, obviously, before we move you on, in terms of Celtic moving forward into Champions League, mate, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to the game. I mean, I don't think we've got any chance of winning it. We're not at that level yet, you know what I mean? But it's been great. It's been a great campaign to this stage, you know what I mean? And I don't think Brendan's looking at to do anything other than don't go out and get battered again. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know, give a good account of ourselves, especially at Celtic Park. You know what I mean? And then go away and don't get hammered. You know what I mean? I'm not expecting anything. I didn't expect to win at Villa. I was pretty surprised that we got back to 2 each last week, but I still felt that Villa would probably go on and win it, and which they did, because they're just that bit. They've got that bit more quality than us at this level, and we always knew that. You know? But I've been pretty pleased with the way we've got through to this stage. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. You never know what can happen, and for anything can happen, but if you're going to get 2 teams like either Real Madrid or Bayern Munich, you're not going to put your mortgage on it, are you?
No, they are glamour-tised, aren't they, Alan? I mean, they obviously the big household names, and people look at Bayern Munich. I know they lost the league last season to Bayer Leverkusen, but they're top of the league again this season. I know they've had a couple of results where it's not went their way. A lot of their fans aren't happy. They think they've downgraded massively. But you look at the wheelings and dealings of that club, they can still spend your 30s and 40s and 50 millions on one guy. I think it was like 100 million they spent Harry Kane. So that just shows you the spending power of these clubs. And as Francis says, a lot of Celtic fans go into that that mindset where they automatically just go, well, that's us now. We've kind of gied in. We're we're not going to get any further. I don't want Celtic just to turn up with that attitude, though. I would like Celtic to, especially the game at Celtic Park, to approach a game and say, right, well, we're not here to just make the numbers up here, lads. So you're going to have to work hard to really turn us over.
Definitely. Well, you've got to make them. You've got to make them work for it. You know what I mean? You can't just go there and lie down to them. You know what I mean? It's no. I'm not saying we lie down to them. Just don't play the right way. You know what I mean? Don't give it 100%, because when you go back to the Dortmund, when you think Dortmund are behind Bayern in the league, you know what I mean? It just gives you a wee bit of fear. You know what I mean?
Thanks for that, Francis. That point I was for Alan.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. I talk on here too much anyway. No, it's got to be Francis is right. It's got to be an extremely difficult task. Let's hope we're getting a couple of players in to deal with it. But there's no doubt about it. Bayern Munich are a kind of worldwide massive side. The amount of kind of trophies they've won in the German league, Champions Leagues as well. So you're looking at a massive, massive side with top quality, world class players. We're fully up against it. I don't think many people will be expecting us to get a result. When it comes to the end of the game, I'll be thinking we could maybe pull off the impossible at home, but it's. The bookies are probably right. They are way, way odds on to win both games, and we just need to make sure we give a good account of ourselves. The last thing we want, as Francis says, is the kind of Dortmund result. We don't want that kind of performance or that kind of scoreline. That could be massively demoralising towards the rest of our season. We're still, the league is, well, we are kind of well in front in the league, but we've still got a Scottish Cup to play for as well. So these kind of results can be demoralising and can cause an effect on the confidence of the players. So we need to make sure we give a good account of ourselves, make sure we don't get embarrassed in any kind of respectable result against a top side like Bayern Munich. I would be relatively happy, to be honest.
Yeah. Francis, thanks very much for coming on with us, mate.
No bother, lads. Pleasure as always.
Cheers,
take
mate.
It easy. Hope you're well. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your week. If you're going on Wednesday, mate, take it easy.
Whether I'm a substitute or no, I'll always turn up. You know?
Nice one. You're not a substitute. What do they call them finishers now. Hey, go. We brought you on a floor. We brought Yang on tonight, so you're all right. Take it easy, mate. Okay.
See you later. Hail, hail.
Bye-bye, mate. Hail, hail. Cheers to Francis for calling in. Yeah. I think you talk about getting back to the game yesterday, Alan, in terms of the Jota goal. I want to talk about the pass for Arne Engels, because there's been a lot made about Arne Engels, as you know, if he's signed. And for that pass, I mean, it was just effortless. It was unbelievable, and I just felt, Alan, that's the Arne Engels that Roger signed. You know, that we're going to see a lot more of this. That's just the start of, if people never took notice of the lad before, they're certainly going to do it now. And for me, I mean, the pass itself was just tremendous. People talking about Idah's movement and everything else. And, I noticed the play before that, which was the Arne Engels thing, mate, and I just thought it was incredible.
I've always kind of said that you could see right away kind of Arne Engels his technical ability. He started off extremely well the first few games. There might have been a slight dip, but that's to be expected. I've said that a number of times. He's a young player coming into a new country, a new culture.
Mm-hmm.
You're not expecting him to kind of constantly kind of hit the ground running. It's going to take time as well, but you can see right away with your own eyes when you watch the player. He's got massive amounts of kind of technical ability. You're not getting picked for the Belgian national side for nothing. And I've said before, I think the more that Arne Engels plays, I think the better you're going to see him. I think you'll maybe start to see the best deal kind of coming up to the end of this season and maybe the start of next season. I think that's when you look at the way that kind of Kuhn adapted as well, he wasn't the best when he came in the first 6 months of last year. And then he started to kick on when he started to find his feet. I can see kind of similar on the angle starting to adjust now, starting to adapt to the type of play, the culture, etc. So I know he's got a lot of criticism, but I honestly don't think it's just. I don't think it's merited. I think there might have been a wee dip, and obviously he's getting that massive price tag on his head, but I still see massive amounts of ability that he's got. That's in my opinion, when I'm watching him, I can see massive amounts of ability. So, I think he's going to be a huge player for Celtic in the future. I think he is a class act, and I think he's only going to get better. But you look at the past as well. That is the type of the player he is.
Yeah,
there was a kind of a number of good passages of play when you're looking at even it was it was the second goal, wasn't it? The Hitati great pass through to McCowan. McCowan takes the wee one touch through.
yeah, that was lovely. Aye.
So there was great passages of play. Was it a kind of complete 90 minutes? Maybe not, but you're looking at kind of there was a lot of positives to take out of that game. If we can play like that for 90 minutes, then I don't think anybody in Scotland would get near us. We are capable of the kind of performances. We just need to make sure that we're getting up to that level more often, because there has been maybe a lot of inconsistencies within the kind of 90 minutes we've seen over the last number of weeks. It's not been. We'll still be winning most of the time. We'll still be playing decent most of the time, but I don't think I'm wrong in saying I think we are capable of far better when you've seen some of the performances we have put in this season, and you've seen some of the spells, kind of passages of play that we're putting together just now.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Over 1,230 people watching us. If you do like what you're seeing, please hit the like button and the subscribe if you're watching on the YouTube channel. It's totally free, guys. We don't charge for subscription, and it allows you to come and join our family. It's time now for our second dial-in caller of the week. That is indeed a good man, Mr. John M. Good evening. How are you?
Evening, lads.
All right. How you doing, John?
Not too bad. Yourselves?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, all good.
Good.
So what's been on your mind before calling in tonight regarding Celtic? What's going on? Transfer deadline day, yesterday's game, anything at all?
Well, I've not really been watching the transfer deadline. I've been like that.
You've not missed it, John.
All right.
It's all right. You've not missed it at all.
No,
It's well having catchphrase on.
It's always the same transfer deadline day, innit? I mean, really, every season, every January is always the same, innit? We always get maybe one decent player, and that's it, really. You know what I mean? So, but I did hear about Brendan and the board being away to London, so I don't think they're just away there for a short signing. I think maybe there's something else going on down there. So, we'll see. We'll see. Was it 11 o'clock? The one day shut. So we'll see.
Yeah, the deadline's 11. Yeah, I did see the comment. Somebody commented earlier saying that the medicals can actually happen tomorrow for players as well, as long as like the registration and stuff's done tonight. So
I think that's right. I think that's right.
It's probably already done with James McCarthy, isn't
it? Is medical still happening now? We don't even know if he's passed it yet.
I don't think he's registered either, is he?
No, he's no. James McCarthy's no longer with us for MB. It's just a joke, yeah.
I know.
Alan, as John says, for me, January's always a very tricky window. You always get more joy at the summer window because a lot of teams kind of tend to play hardball over January, and you know, I don't doubt Celtic have been fairly active all window, but you know, they've maybe not got their number one targets, etc. So the Jeff Lushoup's definitely a stopgap in terms of, we've announced that Kieran Tierney's coming back in the summer, which for me is, by the way, that's unbelievable, right? Unbelievable signing. And again, that's been filtered. For me, that's been filtered out a lot of fans because A lot of fans forget them. He's not coming just now, so that's not the focal point of the fans' mindset there. They need to see they're fixed just now, guys standing with scarves and standing being paraded. But that's part of that. You know, just a couple of days ago, Brendan announced, or it feels like a couple of days ago, Brendan announces Katie's signed a pre-contract. That's been agreed.
That's why it's a fix at all. We need players. I'm agreeing with you. January is a notoriously hard window, but we know it's a hard window. So why let Kyogo go without a replacement? Why let Valle go without a replacement? That is my issue. Why are we letting top players that are actually contributing to your team? Like Kyogo is your star striker, was your star striker. We've let him go a week ago.
For me, Valle's not a top player, mate.
Sorry?
Valle's not a top player for me.
But he contributed to probably about 35-40% of this season. He'd play at left back, I'd say.
I know, but he's not a top player. He's not one. He's a guy that, put it this way, I've forgot he was there. So
well, we've let two players go that have played for us consistently without a replacement. And that is amateur. Absolutely amateur. I don't, what anybody says. We are a big club, right? If we're letting clubs like Rennes in France taking our star striker and we've not even got a replacement lined up, us knowing for months that he was wanting to leave, and we can't press the button and say, "Oh, we're going to pay for this player now, bring him in." For me, that's unforgivable. Honestly, that is amateur hour, and now it's screaming out panic buy. It is screaming panic buy, and we are scrambling about looking for anybody we possibly can because they've messed up, because they've not had that replacement. We know January's hard. I fully admit that. I agree with you, JP. But if January's that hard, don't let the players go without having other players in the building. That's my only point.
So
well,
you don't think Idah can step up to the mark?
I think it's possible, but I think the gulf in quality between Kyogo and Idah when the two of them were here was big. I think that Kyogo was our number one striker. I think Idah's got the potential to step up to that. Has he shown it this season consistently? No, for me. He's done it the last couple of games. Give him credit for that. Give him high praise for that. But consistently over this season, for me, he's not shown enough. And just, are we going to go ahead with just Idah and Johnny Kenny that's come back for Shamrock Rovers, where we'll let go probably Kyogo that people's been talking about? It's probably the best striker since maybe Larson. That's arguable. But we've let go that kind of player without bringing anybody in.
Here's a big shout, right? And I'm actually going to back myself when I say this here. Kyogo's a far better goal scorer than Adam Idah. There is no question. But as a player, and in terms of what what you're getting, then I think Brendan Rodgers really likes Adam Idah more than he does Kyogo because of what Adam Idah can bring to the team in terms of physicality. Because of his goal scoring, Alan. Kyogo's not a player that Brendan Rodgers would go out in a transfer window and buy.
No, well, I think Kyogo's movement, it brings a lot of kind of other players in my team into play. Kyogo's movement drags defenders all over the place, and it brings more midfielders into score goals as well.
It does. But in terms of physicality and coming outside the box to link up play, for me, Adam Idah's better at that.
I think when you're looking at the difference between Kyogo and Idah, I think you're talking about what Larson and David Fernandez. I don't think
you're getting bogged down, Alan, in terms of the goal scoring. That's it.
No, the whole play. I consider Kyogo a far better player because of his movement, because
and by the way, I'm not saying we don't need another striker. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying Kyogo's a far better goal scorer than Adam Idah. That's a fact.
You think, JP, this comes across as kind of amateur and unorganised, that we've not got a striker in there now? That we've
I don't. I don't.
How can you know?
Because I know Brendan Rodgers is a visionary, and I know he'll have some sort of plan. And
I think Brendan Rodgers has been hung to dry. I don't think it's Brendan's fault. Brendan came out yesterday and slagged him off.
Hold on, mate. Hold on. You asked me something there. Let me answer. I think Brendan Rodgers is a visionary, and I think Brendan Rodgers has looked for a striker. He's probably looked for a guy who might not be available in this window. And if a guy's not available, he's not just going to dive in and say, do you know what, I'll take him just to stockpile the squad. Because he's done it. He's done it in the past with other players due to fan pressure, and it's no worked out. He's brought in players, and he's on record actually talking about players who have came and no worked out. Regarding Adam Idah, I think Brendan Rodgers fully backs Adam Idah to be the main man. And John, I'll bring you in on this point as well. In terms of Adam Idah coming up to be the main man, do you think that was Brendan Rodgers' plan all along? Because that's why Brendan Rodgers invested the £9 million for Adam Idah.
Well, I think he sees Adam Idah as his main striker. I know, like, everybody expected Kyogo to stay and blah 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 and what have you, but I always kind of, and I said to you, but I always thought Hatate would have been the first Japanese player out the door, and obviously that wasn't the case, and Kyogo went. But I think Kyogo's been unhappy for a long time. Do you know what I mean? No, just maybe this season, maybe last season as well. And I think a lot's been, he's always been wanting out the door for some obscure reason. And but I do see Idah as a ready replacement for Kyogo, because I think that Kyogo's not there now. I think Idah will step up to the mark. I can see him coming in and scoring goals and get linking play up. And now Jota's in the team, I think you'll see a lot more goals coming for Idah, because the wee man will supply him big time.
That's another thing, John, that's getting filtered out. The Celtic fans are underestimating how many goals this will actually add to our team, having Jota back the club. Celtic fans have just filtered that out and forgot all about this. Yesterday, boom, straight away.
Oh, bingo. But I mean, it just looked as though Jota hadn't been away. It looked as though he'd been off for a couple of games and back in again.
Like I said, if Jota not fit, then I can't wait to see when he gets fit.
But I mean, Jota's a goal scorer, but he's a great assist. I mean, I mean, the assist he can. I mean, look at the goals Kyogo scored when he was there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Abada scored goals off him as well. Brilliant assists, and I think he'll look for the big man, and he'll find him 9 times out of 10, and the big man will be putting the balls away. I can see him getting nigh on 25 goals before the end of the season.
Idah.
Easy.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I've spoke to the man that does East End Community Radio tonight, and he was texting me earlier about what I think he maybe incoming transfers, the guy's slope, etc. Blah blah blah. And I did mention to him on text that, what do you think about Idah stepping up to the plate, etc. And he says, similar to what John says, he reckons Adam Idah will give Celtic between 15 to 20 goals by the end of this season. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of people thinking now, right, is Adam Idah going to really kick on? And I did say on here, Alan, and I think you were present that night when I mentioned that, the sheer emotion of helping us get that goal against Young Boys. I know he didn't directly score, but watching him running out to the fans and celebrating with the fans, and I really thought that's awoken something in Adam Idah that maybe previous weeks was missing. It was just it was like sleeping bears now woke up, and then you see against Aston Villa.
His celebration at Villa Park.
I get what you're saying, but if we're paying $9 million for a player, should it need that? That's his job. It's to score goals, to score 20 goals this season. That's like saying, I'm a bus driver, I'm going to go to the next bus stop. It should be scored goals. That's what he should be doing. He's not done it so far. And for him, he needs somebody to leave to be awake, to waken up. I don't know if I like that attitude. It might just be me, just ignore me if you think otherwise, right? But for him, he needs somebody to leave to wake up and score goals. You're paying $9 million, the guy's handsomely paid. There's no doubt he's probably on 25 grand a week. Guy should be scoring goals. And
but Adam Idah's not just started contributing to the Celtic team now, but this isn't just the start of his contribution.
As a whole, has he done enough? He's not done enough this season. He's done enough the last couple of games, but you're looking at this season in a whole. He went 13 games without scoring a goal.
How many had he scored until the last 2 games? How many goals had he scored?
8. 8 of 32 games. Aye. Is it for a striker?
And how many games had he played in?
32, wasn't it?
Right. And what was Kyogo's? What was Kyogo's
Kyogo's
before
was-
Kyogo left?
Kyogo's was 10 and something, no, 12, I don't know. I didn't look it up.
12.
But Adams was far worse. Far worse.
So
And he's not started.
Like,
He's not
I'll
started
give him
half the games
credit.
either.
Like, but see, with credit comes criticism, right? I'll give him credit for the last couple of games because he's played fantastically well, right? But that should have been the case for this whole season, right? He should have been playing well. He should have been scoring goals. That's what guys getting paid for, and he's
But
not
okay,
doing it.
we paid £9 million to bring him in, right?
Aye.
So we brought him in. What do you think we would have to pay for a decent striker in this window right now? If we had to go for a decent striker, like you're saying, Idah's not the answer. If we had to go for a guy better than Idah,
It's due to
I
the
bet
scouting
me a
system,
Freddie
because you pick up
Well,
Kyogo for £4.5 million.
Alan, you're talking 25, 30 million pounds.
Aye, but it's due to the
Massive
scouting
money.
system because you bring Kyogo in for £4.5 million.
Right, so
And
you
he's
bring
not-
Kyogo
aye,
in
so
for
it's due to the
4.5
scouting
million.
system.
But you're talking about bringing a decent striker in this window, right?
Hmm.
You're crying out for us to get a decent striker in this window. What are you talking about money-wise to bring in a decent
I
striker?
couldn't tell you. I'm
25,
not
30
a
million.
scout.
Easy.
But you're
25,
looking at
30 million pounds.
there's been two strikers that's quoted, right? The boy for Slovan Bratislava, that's £8 million that's been quoted. Seemingly
Right.
there's a bid went in for him. And you're talking about that the Danish boy Switchgarden.
went
Anywhere
somewhere
between
else now.
11 and 13 million they were talking about.
No, he's not. He's not. It's been nonsense by Brøndby. So he's not going to Celta Vigo.
So you're talking
Well-
some out of the two figures, you're talking about the strikers we've been looking at have been somewhere between 7 and 13 million.
Right,
That's the
okay, so
strikers we're
13
looking
million. So 13 million you bring in another striker that you've just paid. You paid 9.5 for a striker last season to bring in the new. You've let one go.
10 for
You've-
Kyogo.
10 million euro. What are you talking about? £8.5 million quid.
I think it was 10 million
Roughly.
pound. What was it? No, was it
10 million euro.
11.5 million euro?
Was it
I don't know.
10
I don't know. But well,
10
if it was
million euro.
8 to 10, whatever.
Well, what did we spend on Jota, lads? What was the Jota
That
fee?
was supposed to be 8
Was that a
million
bit-
pound.
6
million.
million or something. 6 or 7 million.
Was it?
Was
But
it?
then you get
I
5
don't know.
million
that
in
would
for
be-
Bernabeu. I know it's every transfer window we're in a profit.
Right.
Look at last year, we spent all the money in Idah and Engels, but we brought in 30 million for Matt Riley.
There
So
you go.
there's
It's not-
as much
to
money
be-
as you want there.
I
Go
know,
and
Alan, but
spend
to be fair, it's an impressive trading model we've got. I mean, there's no
I
getting
don't
away
want,
from
I want
that.
impressive on the park. I want another striker in
But-
there.
But
I know,
we've got a lot of impression on the park.
but you know what I mean? If we're letting go Kyogo, I don't want... Brendan keeps saying as well, that's him that he's saying. He's saying that we want to go out of this transfer window stronger than we come into it. At the minute, we're going out weaker because we lost Kyogo and we lost Valle, and that's two positions that need filled.
But we're no weaker. We need all right. We need a left back. We need a left back.
Right.
We need a striker. But we've got a striker. We've got a ready-made striker there. Somebody that's going to step up to them. I can see him stepping up to the mark now that Kyogo's gone. Maybe that was on his mind that he was going to be a bit part player and he wasn't going to get a game because he was never going to get in front of Kyogo. So now Kyogo's away. He's the main man. He's
There we
going to
go.
come in there.
You were right, Alan. Jota was 8 million. So
8
there we go.
million.
We've all got different opinions. We can always sit and wait for
Of course we
the next hour 28.
It's
Hour
not
28 minutes and
11
22
o'clock.
seconds.
It's not 11 o'clock yet.
He's sitting
I know.
count- he's sitting
We'll come
counting
back on
the
at
clock
11 o'clock and you'll hear how angry I'm all then, right?
down. He's sitting counting the clock
This is
down.
mild now, this is me being
Jeffrey,
positive, so...
Jeffrey Slipstone and the Green Brigade coming up the Celtic way with his scarf around his neck and all that.
Aye, well.
With Jeffrey Dahmer next.
But John, obviously, before we move you on, mate, as we're coming to the end of the night, in terms of Celtic yesterday, were you quite happy with the performance? And then, look, moving forward into the Bayern Munich game, how are you seen that?
Yesterday, we were never in any trouble yesterday at all. I know they scored a goal when it was a bit of a thing, mate. Bit of defensive error or whatever it was, you know what I mean? The boy took his goal well, don't get me wrong. But we were never in any bother. I didn't see it. I mean, the second half, I think they kicked the ball about 6 or 7 times in the second half. And then when they brought Jota on, it just completely changed the dynamic of the game. And the wee man just looked as though he'd never left. Do you know what I mean? People were telling me he's unfit and he's on the. I mean, I found out he was on the bench yesterday. I'm saying he's probably not going to play him. You know what I mean? He's probably maybe just got him there to frighten Motherwell. You know what I mean? But there we go. He come on and frightened them enough. You know what I mean? He scored a belter of a goal. You know what I mean? And done his usual celebration, the wee jinky. But brilliant. But Bayern Munich, I'm with everybody else. I'm looking forward to the tie, but I don't see us progressing there somehow, because I think they've got a bit more to offer than what we've got. We've done well to get where we are. You know what I mean? And I'm just glad we never go to Real Madrid. But Bayern, listen, it's a two-leg game and anything can happen. Or a two-leg game, and if Celtic turn up, we'll give them a game.
Yeah, no, that's all we want. We just want Celtic to make sure we don't
get annihilated.
Yeah, we don't get annihilated, and we keep the score. We keep the score respectable. If we're going to get beat, that's for sure. But in all honesty, lads, we just need to wait and see. As you say, there's about an hour and, what is it, an hour and 20?
6 minutes. 25 minutes and 40 seconds. Not counting
Nice
it.
one, that.
He's watching over the
I've
telly.
got the telly in the background.
He's got
It's
the
a big
telly on the
deadline
background.
clock on.
Right.
It's
Next
like
week,
Die Hard when the bomb's going to go off. That's what it's like. I'm John McClane trying to sign
In the
players.
In the summer, we want you sitting with your yellow tie on, transfer deadline day.
Aye.
Who's that? Alan.
Aye, Big Alan. We'll
Aye.
get him
I'm
to sit
not
with
letting
his
them wear
yellow
it today
tie
because I've choked myself with it now.
on.
Harry Redknapp outside on the van.
Aye. Peter O'Demwingy's just turned up at Alan's
He
sister.
done up at QPR and nobody knew anything about it.
Aye, 100%.
This boys get pies in the oven.
Aye, brilliant. Superb. But John, cheers for giving us your thoughts, mate, and coming on and having a chat with us.
No worries, guys. And
Right, take care, mate.
keep the faith, Alan.
I'll try my best. I'll try my very best, John.
Hail, hail.
Hail, mate. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Cheers to John and the second and final quarter of the evening. Aye, as I say, this is what is brilliant about being a fan of Celtic or any other side. It's all a matter about opinions and everything else. And aye, that's what makes it be dead boring, I think, if we all sat and agreed with each other. And that's what's so good about the Monday nights, Alan, because it brings other people into the conversation, and other guys might have different thoughts to go and or even Ryan if he's here or whoever's on me, is because, you know, that was what the idea is, why we started this show in the first place, was to bring Celtic fans on to give us how they feel about what's going on with Celtic.
No, definitely. I'd be a bold world if we had the same opinion. Be a lot better world if you all agreed with me because I'm right, but it's not going to happen, is it? So, no, all joking aside, no, it's everybody's got different opinions. So, we can only get behind our team, get behind Celtic. No matter the outcome of the night, we might be kind of frustrated, angry, disappointed if kind of we don't get the players we're looking for. But at the end of the day, whoever comes in's got to be a Celtic player, so we get behind them 100% and support them and see how they go.
Yeah, 100%. Our transfer link from earlier, I know people were wondering. Danny Ings, he's just made his way onto the pitch for West Ham in the Chelsea match now, so there we go. I don't know if maybe Brendan and that are at the game and they're trying to maybe get a chat with him after the game to get things done. Who knows? We'll wait and see. But as far as I know now, Danny Ings has just entered the pitch to play against Chelsea for West Ham. But yeah, obviously that's the end of tonight's chat. And obviously, dial in, folks. Over 1,470 people watching us across all platforms. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for your time and staying with us for this hour and 5 minutes. If you do like the channel, please hit the like and subscribe. As I said earlier, it's totally free and it helps the channel loads, guys. We will be indebted to you forever if you come and join our family. Just means anytime we go live, we're doing anything, if I put a notification in the community section of our YouTube channel, you guys get notified of when we do it. Myself and Ryan will be back on live on Wednesday morning, run about maybe about 10:30. Just check out the social media for that. Before we go, guys, as you all know now, there is a bonus ball on the go with the Celtic Unrestricted View. It is to win this fantastic signed and framed 1989 Joe Miller jersey. There we are. Joe's signed it there. He's put the year. He's put a wee hail, hail. There's Joe there holding the cup. And there's a wee plaque there telling you it's hand signed by Joe Miller. And the COA is with it as well. It was donated kindly by a friend of our sponsor, Mr. Alec Beveridge. And if anybody wants to take part in the bonus ball, the balls are £5. There is 21 balls left, folks. So they are going pretty fast now. 21 left. That's our PayPal account there, ryanclifford9@aol.co.uk. If you don't have PayPal, hit us up in a message on the Twitter, or the X as it's called now. I have always called it Twitter, Alan. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, any one of the social media platforms you'll get us on. You can even contact us in the comment section of this episode when we finish. If not, you can hit us up in the community section of the YouTube channel. So there's plenty of ways for you to get into contact with us to arrange another method of payment. But for the time being, a massive hail, hail, guys. We will see what happens now between now and the end of the window. Big Alan's away. Big Alan's away to get his yellow tie on.
Go away with my sharp, could do it park kids.
And keep the faith, guys and girls, as John M says there, a second caller. Take it easy, and we'll see you all again on Wednesday. Hail, hail, guys.
Hail,
Cheers.
hail.